In the 1800s, a man wearing a head-to-toe leather suit walked a 365-mile route between the Connecticut and Hudson rivers, sleeping in cave shelters and completing his journey in precisely 34 days. And he kept that preciseness for years. So who was this famous vagabond? He was thought to be a French Canadian because of his fluency in French language and his broken English. He was very fluent in French but mostly communicated with grunts and gestures. When asked about his background, he would abruptly end the conversation. He was dubbed the Leatherman as his hat, scarf, clothes and shoes were all made of leather. He used to live in rock shelters which are now locally known as Leatherman Caves. Most striking imagery of him was of a guy wearing a leather suit, and that leather suit weighed 60 pounds and he wore it even in the hottest days of summer. Along his 365-mile loop, he stopped at a staggering 49 towns, precisely about every 5 weeks for food and supplies. He was very reliable in his rounds, so much so that people would have food ready for him, which he often ate on their doorsteps. Even 10 towns along the Leatherman's route passed ordinances exempting him from the state's tramp law passed in 1879. Tramp laws are basically anti-homelessness legislation which aims to both help and rehouse homeless people on one side and criminalize homelessness and begging on the other. The Leatherman was so punctual that people could tell the time by his schedule. As per researcher and author Dan DeLuca, if normally he would stop at your house at 10, he would be there around 10, give or take 5 to 10 minutes. Still to this day, it is completely unknown how he earned money, as there is no official documentation of him legally working somewhere. But one store kept a record of one of his food order. 1 loaf of bread, a can of sardines, 1 pound of fancy crackers, a pie, 2 quarts of coffee, 1 gill of brandy and a bottle of beer. The Leatherman declined meat on Fridays, which gave rise to speculation that he was a Roman Catholic. People began offering him food, considering it an honor if he stopped at their home. Even some schools let the best student go outside to give him food when he passed by on a Leatherman day. He survived blizzards and other foul weather by heating his rock shelters, also known as the Leatherman Caves, with fire. Though there are several reports of his face to be frostbitten at times during the winter, but by the time of his death he had not lost any fingers, unlike other homeless people of that time and in that area. The Connecticut Humane Society once had him arrested and hospitalized in 1888, which resulted in a diagnosis of, quote, sane except for an emotional affliction, and was later released as he had money and desired freedom. The Leatherman's ultimate demise was from cancer of the mouth due to tobacco use. His body was found on March the 24th, 1889 in his Sawmill Woods cave on the farm of George Dell in the town of Mount Pleasant, New York. A French-language prayer book was found near him after his death, which led researchers to believe more about his French past. He was buried with the following inscription carved on his original recycled granite tombstone, which stayed until 2011. Final resting place of Jules Bergley of Lyons, France, the Leatherman, who regularly walked a 365-mile route through Westchester and Connecticut from the Connecticut River to the Hudson, living in caves in the years 1858 to 1889. Later, when the grave was dug up, surprisingly no traces were found of the Leatherman's remains, only some coffin nails. Nicholas Bellatoni, a University of Connecticut archaeologist and the supervisor of the excavation, cited time, the effect of traffic over the shallow original gravesite, and possible removal of gravesite material by a road grading project for the complete destruction of hard and soft tissues in the grave. The new tombstone was then installed on May the 25th, 2011, which simply reads, The Leatherman. So why the name Jules Bergley was displayed on the first grave? There was a legend that a Frenchman during that time with that name lost a chance to marry his true love after he blew a fortune in the leather business, and wandered Connecticut and New York in a leather suit as a penance. This name then appeared in a poorly researched story published in the Waterbury Daily American and also in the Meriden Daily Journal. This spread the name Jules Bergley and it got associated with the Leatherman. Though after realizing the mistake, both stories were later retracted, but the myth lived on. According to several researchers including Dan DeLuca and also as per Leatherman's New York death certificate, his real identity remains unknown to this day. He was and is so popular that still his caves are visited by Leatherman enthusiasts. Not only that, the band Pearl Jam also recorded a song about him, and there's also a race in Pound Bridge, New York named after him. There have been many attempts to solve this mystery, but the plan to take the DNA became a bit of a controversy. Don Johnson, a middle school history teacher in North Haven, Connecticut, who teaches his students about the Leatherman and is also the creator of the website LeaveTheLeathermanAlone.com, said, 30 years, 100,000 miles, never telling anybody who he was. That legacy to me should speak to us today. Do you want to respect him and memorialize him properly? Then leave him alone. Leave his bones alone. So this was a short documentary on the infamous Leatherman. If you love this video, please be sure to give a like and don't forget to hit that bell icon after subscribing. Thanks for watching and I will see you on the internet.